Adelbhert tried to hold back the tears pricking his eyes. His mother stood next to him, holding his hand while they nailed the men to the crosses they'd made from the trees that they had cut down. Women screamed when they saw what was happening to their menfolk. One woman tried to rush to her husband, but a Roman soldier hit her with the flat of his gladius and she fell to the ground crying. The Romans held the chosen men apart from the rest of the village. A soldier took the first man and forced him onto the cross which lay on the ground. The victim kicked and shouted, but the soldiers pinned him down. A man came over with nails and a hammer. The man on the cross began to struggle again as he saw the approaching soldier. Another soldier held the man's arm still as the man with the hammer positioned the nail and then raised it. He brought it down hard onto the nail head. The sound of the nail ripping through flesh and bone assailed Adelbert's ears. The man screamed, a dreadful sound to the ears of a child. The man screamed again as the soldier drove another nail through his other wrist. Then he passed out. The soldiers nailed 5 men to the crosses and the air filled with the metallic scent of blood. Adelbert did not know whether to hold his breath, close his eyes, or cover his ears. Screams of the men mingled with those of the women. The 6th man's turn arrived. Adelbert heard his mother give a quiet sob. This was his father. When the soldiers laid him on the cross, his father did not struggle. He knew it would be futile. The soldier with the nails approached. Adelbert saw his father close his eyes and take a deep breath. When the nail pierced his flesh, his body tensed, and he let out a soft moan, but he did not scream. Adelbert felt his chest swell with pride. My father is braver than the others. He didn't scream in spite of the pain. He looked up at his mother standing calmly and with dignity, knowing hysterics would not help her husband nor her small family. Seeing the pain in her eyes, Adelbert's fists clenched at his sides and his breathing quickened as he looked again at the soldiers, now raising the crosses to an upright position. These men had killed his father. His father had been innocent of the raids. He'd not taken any part, but the Romans did not care. They just wanted to punish someone, to make someone a scapegoat so others would learn not to attack the might of Rome. The boy pushed back the tears forming in his eyes. He could hear his little sister crying as she hung onto her mother's leg, burying her face in her skirts. But she had only 4 summers, so she could be excused. His baby brother slept in his mother's arms, ignorant of what happened around him. He'll never know his father, the boy thought, looking up at the baby. He closed his eyes to force back the tears. He would never see his father again after today either. He forced himself to look at the crosses, searching for the one on which the Romans had nailed his father. He knew it would be the last chance he had of seeing him. He caught his father's eyes. In spite of the pain in them, his father gave a half smile and mouthed, "Look after your mother and sister." Adelbert was 6, and the eldest, so he had to show courage. A slight breeze ruffled his ash-blonde hair and he raised his hand to push it back out of his eyes. He didn't want to see the horrible death his father was undergoing, but something inside told him he owed it to him to watch and remember. A tear trickled down his cheek, and he brushed it away. He must stay strong. He was now the man of the family.